Welcome to AlphaCars. My name is Dimitri. I'm here with this 2023 Ford Bronco Wildtrak Sasquatch. And when we were just talking about it, Ian said, Sasquatch is very important. He reminded me because it is. It's got a lot of goodies. But when it comes down to rust, it is absolutely irrelevant what you have here. They're all going to rust if you're not going to protect it. Whether it has a Wildtrak Sasquatch or anything else on top or below that. If it's not protected, and if you're in New England, it is going to rust. So we had about a month ago, we had the same color 4-door Bronco that we did an awesome job and the customer is thrilled. And you can see that video probably right in that top right corner of your screen. And you can see what we did. We're going to do the same thing with this Bronco again. And thanks to YouTube and subscribers like you, and when you click that little like button, you're going to spread a good word, and you're going to help fight rust here in New England, believe it or not, because more people are going to see this video and other videos, and they're going to find AlphaCars. And we have this unique service where not only we apply the product, rust protective coatings, but we do an incredibly thorough vehicle preparation, which includes surface preparation and preparation of adjacent areas that we protect to retain for them, to retain factory original. That's all we're going to do to this Bronco. And one thing we're going to check, I'm curious, so this particular Bronco is only 300 units, build units apart from the other Bronco that we did a month ago based on the VIN. And we did the paint meter readings on that one. I'm just grabbing my paint meter tool, paint meter thickness tool. So the paint thickness on the frame of the Broncos, every single one that we have measured, was under 1 mil. Often it was under 0.5 mil, which is basically almost no paint, nothing to talk about when it comes to protecting from rust. So the paint thickness on the exterior panels that don't get into as harsh environment as the underbody, which is exposed to salt and chemicals. So this one has 3 mils, and it's got the primer, it's got the base coat, which is gorgeous, really deep metallic color, and then it has a clear coat. And depending where we measure, the thickness of the paint in mils will vary between, I guess, 3 and 4. And then we have this vinyl from the factory that says Wildtrak. I bet you that adds another, guess how many mils? It adds like 4.5 mils. So this is 4.5 mils. It's that thickness because we're measuring 3.5 here and actually 9 here, and the glossy surface 9.5. So we have 4 to 5 mils in this very thin vinyl that is applied on top of 3 mils of paint. So let's see how much paint protection Ford factory provides for a almost $100,000 vehicle. I don't know if this one is this expensive, but I'm sure you can build one that will break $100,000. So let's see what's the paint thickness we get there. I'm gonna put a paint meter on the side of the frame, and we're gonna take the measurement of 0.5 mils. I bet you the most protected area is going to be the one covered by sticker, which is like 3 by 3 inch. And this one measures 3 mils. So the thickness of this paint, the thickness of this sticker, vinyl sticker, is 2.5 mils, because right next to it, we're measuring actually 1 mil. And over here, we're measuring 1 mil. And over here, we're measuring 0.5 mil. So some areas are protected a little bit better, but still totally insufficient for the type of environment it's in. So we have 0.5 mil there, and here's a skid plate, which measures mil. So we're not measuring anywhere more than 1 mil of paint thickness on the underbody of the structural components like frame. And actually, let's hit one more area. I'm gonna check the paint measurement on the unibody, which is the part of the vehicle that is underbody, structural, but it is bolted to the frame. So we're gonna do it right here, and we're measuring 1 mil. 1 mil. We have to give it to Ford. Somehow, selectively, they applied a little bit of extra protection to certain segments of the underbody. I'm sure there's a strategy of some kind, but I am just disappointed they did not apply this strategy throughout the whole underbody of the unibody, not to mention frame. So here we're measuring 19 mils of rubberized coating. So that would be a good question for Ford engineers. Why did they protect, looks like 14, 16 inches, and they did not protect the adjacent areas? We also have a couple of spots of similar protection here and there on the underbody, but this is, I would say at best, 5% of the surface coverage. And that's the type of rubberized undercoating that we often see on European cars. And because that is definitely, those hold up much, much better. So we're going to apply the waxoyl, black protective coating to the frame and suspension components. We're going to apply it to the unibody underside. And then we're going to apply waxoyl coating for enclosed areas, which is somewhat clear. It's more yellow, it's more liquid, and it can be atomized from our spray equipment. We're going to apply it to enclosed areas of the hood, fenders, frame rails, and anything enclosed that we can stick the tube into. That's what we do. So that's all going to get done. There are also a number of areas on the Broncos that have bare metal, like just absolutely bare metal. On this Bronco, I looked at it with the vehicle owner, and there was already surface rust. Luckily, those are not large areas. We're talking about a full drive shaft, propeller shaft. That is all bare metal. The flanges of the CV joints of the front axles, and there are certain areas, machined areas here and there in the back. So those can also optionally be protected. We would not suggest just applying the wax oil undercoating, because that one does not dry, and that's what you want. It stays sticky. And these are serviceable parts, so at some point a technician somewhere would have to remove the propeller shaft or service the CV joints, and they're going to have the sticky stuff on it. So what we do offer, we would remove the surface rust, would apply the primer, would tape adjacent areas, and we would apply black industrial paint. And that is something that will protect from rusting, and certainly is going to be serviceable down the road. The same goes for skid plates. As we just measured, they have no protection. So a couple of things can be done. They can be removed, and we can send them out for powder coating, or at the very least, we can remove them. We will remove them to access some of the areas we're going to work on, and then we can scuff them, and we will apply chip guard. We use Worth product, and that's something that you see under the paint on rocker panels, and that's the type of material we would apply to the skid plates, and also to the rear backing plates. You see some of the backing plates 2-3 years down the road, and take my word for it, they have 0.5 mil to 1 mil of coating. They all gonna rust. So the same thing, we can remove them. They're easy to remove on the Bronco, and we can apply chip guard material to them. The front plates, skid plate, not the skid plates, backing plates for the brakes those are more challenging to get to, so we would usually just apply waxoyl protective coating to them. So those are the things we're actually going to do on this vehicle. The owner opted to have all this work done, so we're going to document that and show it to you. On the last one, some of the work was done selectively. And then there are a couple other things we most likely will be doing on this Bronco, which would include replacement of the original running boards with the retractable running board, and that is for one of the family members of this vehicle owner. That's something that they decided to do just to make it easier for them to get in and out of the vehicle. So we're actually receiving those in the next couple days, and we're going to do all the measurements, lay out the electrical harness, see how we're going to wire it in, most likely before we apply the underbody protective coating. What do you think, Ian? Did we cover everything for the kind of overview of what we're going to do?
I think so. I think now we've got a very educated picture of what's going to happen, and now I'm eager to see this in the shop and see the starting, process.
Yeah, that is a very cool vehicle. It's for the rest of the duration of this video until we finish. It's most likely going to be on the lift. What's nice for you, our viewers, as you go into this video, I'm not sure if it's going to be 15 or 20-minute video, but you'll see all this entire process in a matter of minutes. We are going to be working on this for several days and keep you updated. So thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and let's dive right into it.
And now we have the Bronco on the lift, and we've started the disassembly. So I'll go over quickly kind of the scope of work. So we can see already the fender flares have been removed, and of course the wheels and tires. And what we did before we pulled it in was we pressure washed the underbody. So it is still wet as we still are gonna kind of dry it and detail it. But we can see some of the protective shields have been removed already, and we can see over here the wheels and tires are stacked very nicely, or kind of leaned on each other on the tires themselves, next to these very beautiful AMG wheels there. Of course, we used our tire lift, one of our favorite tools in the shop there. So on the Bronco, as I said, currently we're just making sure we're going through it, drying it very thoroughly, detailing all the areas we can get to. These splash shields, all the fender liners will come out. The bumpers are going to be removed, as well as the inside of the bumpers will be rust-proofed. And then looking underneath, once again we can see still a little wet as a technician. He's in the middle of kind of drying things and wiping things out. But we can see how clean the areas are that we have now wiped out and detailed as we disassemble and prepare this Bronco for the application. Now let's take a look at the next step on the Bronco. We can see all of the protection is removed, all of the protective shields is what I mean. And all the areas where we don't want to get the rust protection on have been masked, and masked very precisely as well. So we can see the rear muffler is wrapped, the braking surfaces are wrapped, including the calipers. You can see the whole exhaust is wrapped. Lots of little things like harnesses and part of the engine compartment has been wrapped as well. And of course, we're selective of where we spray it in general. But just showing kind of the lengths we go to make sure everything is protected. And then the bumpers will be coming off tomorrow. And then the kind of application process will start. And I will mention, look at this drive shaft. You can see it's an unprotected raw metal surface really ready to rust from the factory, including the front axle shafts as well. We can see how rusty those are already, and this is pretty much a new vehicle. So as part of this service as well, some of these surfaces we're gonna treat the rust, get it off of there, and refinish those with kind of like just like a flat black finish. So then those won't rust like they're already doing when the truck is pretty much new. We've treated all of the raw metal surfaces, so I'll show you the drive shafts here. You can see how nice those look. So you can see the remnants of kind of where the rust was. Of course, now this is down to the bare surface, but we can see already just in a little amount of time how the rust kind of attacks and damages a surface. But once we protect this with paint, it'll all look new again. So I just wanted to show that the prep work is done, and we're about to paint these drive shafts. And now we've finished refinishing the raw metal surfaces. So I'll show you around, show you all the axles. So you can see how nice those look there. And it's the full axles we've done as well. So the both ends where they, we can see there, it goes into the hub. And then the inner side here, where it goes into the differential, all that has been done as well. And you can see even we hit the bolts and such as well, so those won't corrode or rust as they like to do as well. So we can just see how nice that looks. Really, really we think that it should have come this way from the factory, but for whatever reason they didn't. So we can see really how nice all that looks. It really complements the rest of the underbody as well, because we can see, all the other suspension components have a pretty decent coat of paint on them from the factory. So now that we've done this step, now we can actually start some of the rustproofing application on the underbody. And now the underbody application is complete on the actual truck. So let's take a look now at how nice this looks. Very even and consistent coverage. You can see everything was masked properly. So all the components that we don't want coated, they weren't coated. You can see, especially the exhaust, as if you get any on there, it gets pretty smelly. So you can see all that is perfectly clean. Let me get some better angles for you here. And even up in the like pinch welds and the sides of the body, really everywhere, there's awesome coverage. And we can see over here the product that's dripped down. So of course the excess drips will get wiped, but that's a good thing that that's coming out of enclosed areas. So then that it has a thorough application. A little bit of sun coming in from the window, that's why some of the lighting looks like that. And we can see even up all the way into the fender wells. Really anywhere where rust might start. Of course, rust a lot of times will start in the hidden areas you can't normally see, which is why we go to the lengths we do to disassemble vehicles to this degree. And then now the next step, all of the protective shields and skid plates, those we are going to apply a chip guard, almost like a tough bed liner material to them. That's what the customer wanted to do with those. So we're gonna apply that to the inside and out of those shields and then reinstall them. And we're gonna rust-proof the inside of the bumpers as well. We can see the wheels and tires and the fender liners are neatly stacked over here, and the bumper is on a piece of foam here. So all the inside of those areas are of course going to have the application as well. And welcome to the final segment on the Bronco rust proofing. So I'm going to walk through where we're at on the truck. It's pretty much, I would say, 90% done. As the last little bit of rust proofing, we need to lower it on the ground to be able to extend the side steps there. But I'll talk about that in just a minute here. So now all the bumpers are back on, which were rust proofed on the inside. Of course, the skid plates and shields are on as well. And those have the kind of bed liner, chip guard, protective coating on them, on the inside and the outside of them, or the top and bottom, I guess I could say. So we can see the textured coating there. That's super thick, super durable. And we can just really see how nice everything looks, especially now, the tires are back on. And we can see really how clean of a masking job and just clean application, almost like it would have come this way from the factory, not spraying over random things or things to not be coated. So we can see, and the rear brake backing plates have the chip guard on them as well. And of course the rear bumper's on here. So all very nice. And now quickly I'll talk about the side steps. So as an additional thing that the customer, that we recommended, of course, gave an option to do, that the customer wants to do, we're gonna lower the truck down because there's not enough clearance to lower the side steps while the truck is on the lift. So once these get lowered, we're gonna take off like the end caps and actually rust proof on the inside of those. So the inside of the housing it's tucked up into, and the step itself. So in the step itself, we'll get an atomized spray, same as the other enclosed areas on the truck. So really full protection on this truck right from when it was new, right from when those parts are new as well. So I want to thank you for watching this video. If you have any additional questions, send us an email at service@alphacars.com. There, if you give us your vehicle information, we can provide you with a free estimate, kind of give you the options depending on your desired outcome and your vehicle condition. Give us a call at 978-263-9000. We will pick up the phone and we will talk to you. We like talking to people about motoring things, as we're motoring enthusiasts here and really want to go the extra mile to protect our motoring investments. So this has been Ian reporting from our Boxborough Service Center. I want to thank you again for watching this video. Please leave a like on it and subscribe so then you don't miss out on the latest motoring content.